Good Lord, what is going on in there?
Aurora Borealis?
Aurora Borealis. At this time of year, at this time of day, in this location, contained entirely in your server closet?
Yes.
May I see it?
No.
It's not every day that someone graduates from the 2-post rack to the 4-post rack. But you have graduated to the 4. Congratulations, you run a real operation. You need 4 posts.
I've finally graduated from something. This is the only thing I've never dropped out of. Server racks. All right, what are we doing? Because you said currently my configuration, which you built, is made out of garbage.
Yes.
So walk me through it.
Okay, so your current, like the main thing that's powering your network really is your storage server and a bunch of consumer grade gear, like, you know, Linksys stuff. It's really not, like you've kind of outgrown. You've also got a hodgepodge of 10 gig switches. Like I think you have 3 10 gig switches that are scattered, like
yes.
2 in the rack and then 1 that's scattered elsewhere. And things are daisy chained. And your editors are actually hitting the server kind of hard, and we've had a few drive failures. So your server is just a standard issue rack mount server, and there's a bunch of drives in the front, and that's fine. And then attached to that, we've also got the venerable NetApp disk shelf. Well, the thing that I've picked out for you is I've gone Unify, and this is this is kind of like the Apple solution in the networking world. I mean, not really. Unify is actually pretty good stuff at this level.
I was gonna say, I'm not sure.
It's entry level.
Apple is really not selling me. Apple solution is like, you got anything else, Wendell?
It's entry level enterprise. And this is a really good deal for what it is. This is a 10/25 gig switch. And not all the ports are 10 gig, but this is 48 ports, 48 wired Ethernet ports, and it has 4 25 gig ports. Wow. And it's pretty good manageability, and Ubiquiti gives you a lot of accessories. Like, Ubiquiti tries to give you a pretty good deal. It's not perfect, there's warts, I find bugs and stuff all the time, but they've also been sending me equipment to find the bugs in, so it's a blessing and a curse. Now, this is good, but it's not just like, you're using the file server as a file server, and the file server as a file server is fine, but for 25 gig and mechanical storage and everything else, we need to have a little bit more horsepower.
You need to make sure I pay for this.
We'll get there, it's fine.
Okay, so make sure I pay for it at some point.
You've got 4 SFP28 ports, and then you have these 48 ports, which is a mix. So the 10 gig switch that you have can do 1 gig and 10 gig, but modern 10 gig is 1, 2.5, 5, and 10. Okay. And it uses different power, and actually the 1, 2.5, 5, and 10 is much more forgiving of terrible wiring. And some of your wiring is actually terrible wiring. Some of it's okay, but some of it is terrible. And so this will work better, it has a much higher shot of working at 10 gig reliably from the existing copper that you have. Okay. Because you have very early Cat 6 in a lot of places. And this is also a pretty easy button in terms of monitoring and management, and there's an app, and you don't have to be overly technical in order to, you know, find stuff and manage stuff on the network.
I can say that we are bottlenecked by Adobe Premiere, which sucks. But on the actual data side, I don't know, when we were editing the GPU Black Market documentary, I was checking the Task Manager network tab sometimes, and during rendering, especially while writing files, you know, to the server, I think that was hitting like 5 gigabits per second.
Yes.
So it wasn't doing 10, but it was reliably hitting 5.
Yeah, the really amazing thing about 25 gig now is that with updates to Windows, these are basically plug and play. If you keep these cool in a workstation, you can move files to and from the server at 2.5 gigabytes per second. Wow, yeah. It's plug and play. Yeah.
So are we going to be limited by the media, the disks?
That is where we're going. We don't need disks. So let's go take a look at that.
Okay. Is the plan solid state?
The plan is solid state. Okay. And we can add another disk controller to this machine to attach your existing NetApp. So you can use your NetApp disk shelf for a slow pool, and this will be the fast pool. This is the 45Drives Tornado. They sent this to me for evaluation. I'm giving it to you because you're gonna get a lot of mileage out of it, like a lot of mileage. It is an absurdly fast platform for doing storage plus processing. And you don't really have anything that you're doing processing with right now, but this platform makes a great virtualization platform, and you'll be able to run virtual machines, you'll be able to do all kinds of stuff like that. And so in this, we can run virtual machines that monitor, like somebody sends you some suspect files, we can spin up disposable virtual machines, and you can check those things, and then, oh, it's weird or suspect or whatever, you just delete the virtual machine. The virtual machine, you don't even have to have it hang around forever. You just check the thing and then delete it. It doesn't have a chance to do anything bad. I did a full review of this chassis, so they can check that out on the Level 1 channel in a different video. But this is only like the first ingredient, and I think we're gonna talk more about like the chassis and some other stuff in one of your videos. But this is gonna be a great, like this is sort of the cornerstone of your network in the new rack. Massive thank you and shout out also to Kioxia for the storage here for Steve's Storinator from 45Drives. Each one of these drives, 7.68 terabytes. We'll just round up to 8 terabytes. These are the older CD6 models, but it's going to be perfect for what Steve has in mind. The bottleneck is definitely going to be the network, but this gives an upgrade path for 100 gigabit, and this gives an upgrade path in case we eventually want to use this as a caching front end for his mechanical storage. So huge thanks to Kioxia for coming in clutch with the storage here. Thank you very much.
First of all, thank you. Secondly, you do need to bill me for the other thing.
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, good. And then third, on the storage. So, two questions. So we had talked about last time setting up the disk shelf and the other server, potentially doing caching like SSDs in front of the disks.
Yes.
And so disks are much more economically viable and just a lot of capacity. The problem we ran into with an SSD caching system was it would require a certain level of custodial management where once the project is done, we need to move everything onto the disks. And I think because of the way we edit these days, where some of these projects might sit there for months, like Black Market, it just wasn't really going to work. So, is that the plan here? And if so, is there it seems to me like there would be a way we could figure out some kind of scripted or automated move files thing.
Yeah, so the main things that have changed since then is capacity. So right now, this is as much flash capacity as you have in Rust.
Okay.
Close to it.
Got it. That's a lot. Cool.
Okay. At least based on your usage and the information that you sent.
All right.
And that is enough room to move around that we can actually script. So like if things become hot or whatever, moving things back and forth, having the mechanical drive pool, which is quite fast because there's a lot of spindles for mechanical storage, in the same chassis, or at least attached to the same chassis through the external interface, because disks are external themselves. This will be able to manage that, and none of that traffic ever hits your network, because then that traffic will be competing with whatever else your editors are doing, and this solves all of those problems. We will also use the old Threadripper chassis with some of the disks for the offsite replica.
Okay.
So we get the best of all worlds.
Cool.
And the other thing is your Linksys situation. This is going to address the Linksys situation. This is AM5, but it's EPYC. AMD EPYC comes in an AM5 format. This has 96 gigs of memory. It has an AIO liquid cooler. This is your ingress and egress traffic filter.
Got it. Okay. So I have not before done a custom router or switch, basically. That's kind of, okay, got it. How? Is there are there open source operating systems you install?
The most popular one, and generally the one that people go to, is pfSense.
I have seen that. I haven't used it.
That is probably that's probably what I would deploy in this kind of a situation with this platform. There's a lot of people that like OpenSense. There's a lot of people that like OpenWRT. That's a Linux-based one.
I've seen that one as well.
There are trade-offs. The pfSense people are a particular kind of neckbeard, and I mean that in the most endearing, loving way. They really go out of their way to try to protect you from yourselves. And so because of that,
So it's like a chivalrous neckbeard.
Yeah.
Right, the kind that opens the door for you and that kind of neckbeard.
They really know what they're doing.
Got it.
They're responsible for an ungodly amount of development on FreeBSD itself and the networking code. And I haven't seen that really from the OpenSense team in terms of you're developing your product, but then they're also like, what about the underlying operating system plumbing? And it's like, I'm venturing dangerously into flame bait territory.
So you're saying they're different classifications for neckbeard.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. This is from ASRock, and this is an all-in-one. Like, this is a bare bones thing. You can buy it, put whatever you want in it. But 16 cores, fast networking, fast PCIe, lots of PCIe Gen 5.
Are these redundant?
Yep.
Cool.
Yep. This is pretty much the paint by numbers solution for your network, and it is like architecturally, it's basically cold standby. So like, if this happens, this is your contingency plan. If this happens, this is your contingency plan. If this happens, this is your contingency plan. And that's really a big part of why I'm here. It's like, it's not just the network, it's not just the storage, it's not just the rack. It's just like, this is how you architect the information service. And also we'll be able to split up your network into pieces because it's all, just one big network, but we can have like, here is the secure enclave. Here is, a less protected. Here's where benchmarks can live because it doesn't need access to this other thing.
Right.
And as you cross the boundaries from this side or the other, you're able to do a little bit more observation in terms of, is this unusual? Which I think is important for the types of hornet's nests you're stirring up.
What do you mean? Which ones?
I don't know. It's a fun conversation.
Yeah, is that a fun conversation on your channel?
If we've told you once, we've told you 1,000 times. Don't provoke the Berg.
Or is that a fun conversation for later?
I don't really care. I'm fine with whatever.
Yeah.
So let's get to work and let's put this together and let's see where we end up. So this is an actual computer and it's got a bunch of drives. And then also we have the disk shelf, which has a bunch of drives. And the disk shelf was part of your original recovery strategy. So like if something happened with a computer, we could move the shelf to another computer, and that makes life a little easy.
Right.
But over time and as you've grown, we've got a lot of disks.
Some of them are dead.
Yeah, that's a problem. We got to fix that while we're here too.
Z-pool status.
Degraded.
Yeah. There is an ancient Synology NAS from the old office. There's actually one from the house in the corner too. We don't use either of those. There might be disks we could harvest, so we can check that out. But
that'll be good for the offsite backup server.
That's true. Yeah, that may work.
Yeah, the nice thing about this pool is when we built it, I remember some of the disks were a little borderline or reused from other projects, and so one of the VDEVs in the pool actually can tolerate 3 disk failures, which is important because it had 2 disk failures.
It can have one more.
Yes, it can, but I'm here to fix that.
Okay. I'm just saying I paid for 3 disk failures. I'm going to get 3 disk failures.
Some of the networking stuff is a little overkill considering what you've got for like your inbound connection, but that's okay. It's fine. We can use the super high-end equipment to get the most out of your relatively anemic connection.
You don't think I'm getting $900 per month worth of internet?
You're gonna have plenty of forward growth capability for whatever.
I feel like you're spinning something.
You're gonna be able to use enterprise gear in the future.
Okay. So.
With more, maybe we could bundle together like 6 or 7 cable modems, and then you'll have like a good connection.
So you don't think it's $900 per month?
No,
okay.
God no.
Okay. That was after I negotiated them down.
There's a lot of money that has been given to ISPs in this country to run fiber to every building, and I feel like that we've been robbed.
Yeah.
As taxpayers.
Also, this is one of the 10 gig switches. So that's one of the nice ones. Those are some of the Linksys switches and routers, and then the
Buffalo.
Yeah, Buffalo way up here. That was my original 10 gig. So.
Yeah, we'll just replace all this.
Yes.
It's fine.
Yeah. Cool.
Woo!
I'm ready.
All right, let's get on it.
All right, I bought this in preparation for your arrival. I didn't want to disappoint you too much, so hopefully it's okay.
No, this is great. This is a great modern 4-post rack, and this is what you move up to. Sometimes you see 4-post racks in surplus, and those are perfectly fine, but this rack is a little wider.
Yes.
It's still a 19-inch rack, but it's designed for more connectivity on the sides. We're probably not going to use that on the front, but at the back, it really helps because you can hide the wires.
Yeah, so when we were searching for this one, I asked Jeremy on the team to look for options, and he came to me and he was like, so he used to work in, cable routing and data centers, and he was like, there's these wider ones that are just much easier to work in.
Yes.
And since we don't need to stack a bunch of them next to each other, I figured we'd just go for that. So anyway, yeah, it's got the doors. They're just off right now. It's ready to go. It's cleaned. I think it was like, I don't know, $400 or $500 or something used.
Yeah, I mean, it's the scrap value of metal has gone up of late due to global macroeconomic conditions. But this is great, and this is really going to be overkill. We're going to add a backup battery at the bottom, and
I bought some of those too.
Yes, perfect. And we will add the 45 drive storinator, and then we're probably just going to use a shelf for the other standby equipment.
Okay.
45 drives has a great rail system. Makes it really easy to install the 2U rack stuff. One of the other things I like to do when planning rack deployments, I can use blue tape to sort of figure out if things are gonna lay out the way that I would like them to maximize use of space. You'd be surprised how much we're gonna use. One of the first places to start is the bottom of the rack, and the bottom of the rack is usually the battery backup. These are refurbished units, and so that's much more cost effective. These are also lead acid batteries, not lithium ion, which is great when you have a server closet that's maybe a little warmer than average. Maintenance is easier, it's easier to get a hold of the cells, but this is an APC with extra batteries. It's because it's refurb, it didn't have the plastic cover. There's a couple screws missing, but it gets the job done, and it's probably good for 10 more years. What's going on over here?
Science.
This is reminiscent of a 60s mainframe. Like, where's my PDP-11 control panel?
It tells you how many megabytes or gigabytes it's written, how many it's writing, how many have passed, how many have failed.
That's amazing. Yeah, verify. So yeah.
Yeah.
Blame the Postal Service X-ray if your USB gets there and it's corrupted.
Yeah. Great. Something else for you to worry about.
Software.
Yes.
I set you up with TrueNAS many years ago. Well, it was Unraid first, and we added ZFS to Unraid when it was not supported. And then we went to TrueNAS, and you're still on an old version of TrueNAS. But the hardware has held up pretty well, even despite drive failures. Like, we've navigated that. It's been fine, mostly.
Yeah, the software, I've liked working with TrueNAS overall. I would say the interface it's pretty self-explanatory, but basically anytime I wanted to do anything, I had to search for how to do it, which is fine. You know, it's not a foreign concept.
But you'd set up permission groups and stuff. I mean, that's great. That's
permissions, that worked well. I mean, there's certain things where like we just want to kind of quarantine certain data sets from other data sets, and especially some of the stuff I deal with for like source information for investigations and things. There's just certain things that really restrict access to sensitive information, and so I was able to set all that up without issues in TrueNAS.
Have you ever had to pull anything from any of the snapshots? I noticed when we did the data migration, you were still doing the constant, there's like 2 or 3 snapshots a day.
It's that many, wow. The only time I've used shadow copy.
Yeah, that.
Yeah.
That's how it shows up in the GUI.
So the best instance of shadow copy was, you know how enter on the numpad is right next to delete?
Oops.
So there have been at least a couple instances, and this is spread across multiple people on the team, including myself. So everyone has had their opportunity for this. Another good example is, so if you move files from like an external storage device, and then you put it onto the server, and say you think you have Adobe Premiere as your active window, but you don't, and you hit Control-Z, and it's actually Windows Explorer, it'll just delete everything, right? Like, and so sometimes it can be useful for those situations as well. We also had to get me up and running on a temporary data set today.
Yeah, it turns out that Steve doesn't sleep and works 7 days a week, which is problematic from a data migration standpoint.
And that's the only way it's problematic. There's no other way that's problematic. We can ignore those problems.
I'm staying in my wheelhouse. Staying in my lane, is that what that's called? I don't know.
Yeah, well, you're also in that lane, so yeah, that's fine. Yeah, but we did have to come up with a thing, because it's like, well, there's no one here. So from that standpoint, a transfer could happen, but I still need to get stuff moving for the team when they come in on Monday. So.
Yeah. Fun times. It's exciting.
But it's working.
This is your APC net shelter something or other, and there's your old server at the bottom that's not doing much.
Yeah.
Your nice new battery backup. The emergency server. your old disc shelf, and then this Tornado from 45Drives. Outfitted with lovely Kioxia storage supplied to me. Thank you, Kioxia. But this is 96 terabytes raw capacity.
Yeah, and it's been moving everything over, I guess. We had some small quality of life stuff, so like plated out everything that was not in use. There's some small like 1 gig switches and stuff shoved back there on shelves. And then this thing.
Yeah, we're gonna get the UPS on the network.
This was kind of a cool.
They splurge.
Yeah, touch, I guess.
You splurged a bit.
I think it was like a couple $100. I think I don't remember. I think it was another one of the like semi-used open box things. What, this stays here, right?
Yeah, the disc shelf will stay. It is now attached to this Tornado.
Right.
However, once we're reasonably confident everything is stable, the disk configuration will change, and your old server is going to be pressed into use for an offsite backup. So we'll seed what's on your flash storage pool onto probably the 16, maybe the 20 terabyte hard drives running in your old server, and then that can be your offsite ZFS replica.
Right. And then this, you've been calling Bat Phone.
Yes.
Which is an excellent name.
This is off most of the time. But if something ever goes wrong with this Tornado, we can transfer the flash storage from there down to here. Now this is much slower and much older, but this will work great for an emergency situation.
Right, and then it also gives you a potential pathway to remote in to help if we need it. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's already been amazing.
Yeah, so I'm excited for it. It's way cleaner. The whole setup's much cleaner. It's also relatively easy to just, like, we have a little bit of slack on the cables, not a ton, but enough where we can move it if we need to get better access.
Move it to clean.
Yeah.
And also we've reconfigured the room from a thermal standpoint. Mike is going to finish that.
Yes.
Sorry, Mike, and or congratulations.
Yeah, it's, so for that, basically, I bought a giant fan you recommended. And so we're going to hook it up right behind the server. There's a hole in the ceiling tiles right now where we moved one, but basically put the fan up there, and then
we're sucking all the cold air out of your air conditioner through this vent.
Yes, there's a vent immediately in front of the server rack, which I said to you is like, they're gonna think we're geniuses.
We did it on purpose.
Yeah.
You also changed some of the ceiling tiles to make it a little quieter and almost blinded yourself.
Yeah, that was fun. Yes, I'm only taking ceiling tiles out with glasses from now on. Yeah,
it's fine.
What else? What's next?
That's pretty much it. You got room for expansion. There's the wires are managed. The chaos is managed. Thanks for watching. Thanks for hanging out. Be sure to check out Gamers Nexus.
Thank you for the help.
As if you already didn't know.
Thank you for all the I'm very excited about the server. It's so the editors are the ones I want to get the first opinions from, because
the first week's going to be rocky.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, but once we start really using it for editing, that's when we should see the immediate effects. And then you've also, we didn't do it for this video, but you brought fiber runs.
Yes.
That Mike will run to the editing systems.
Yeah, I think because some of the wiring here is a little sus, I think your editors, a couple key workstations at 25 gig will probably be really nice, especially combined with the absurdly fast SSDs.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I'm excited. It's awesome.
All right. Well, that's enough for this one. I'm signing out, and you can find me in the Level 1 forums and, I don't know, direct all your angst and or rage and or ideas for improvement there.
Sure. Thanks, Wendell.
Yeah.
You're supposed to say, thanks, Steve.
Thanks, Steve.
Oh, no. I wasn't serious.